I own a residential construction company. I do about $1.3 million in sales. My landlord is selling the building, and I have to move, and I'm trying to do it without going into debt.
Okay. What kind of a building do you have that you're renting?
3,600 square feet. It's a garage and office space.
Yeah. What are you paying in rent?
I pay $2,100 currently, and every place that I look for now, they want around $4,000. So it's going to be considerable more.
Okay. Well, in the real estate business, what we call your business is a destination business, meaning that people don't accidentally stop in to see you.
Correct.
If someone's coming to see you, they set out from home to come see you. Translation, it doesn't necessarily need to be in in a high traffic area, a retail area. There's no value to you for impulse. For instance, a fast food would be the opposite of you. It needs to be on Franchise Row with a high traffic count, preferably a right turn coming out of town during traffic, so they can stop in and pick up a Big Mac on the way home from the office with the skyline in their rearview mirror, suburbs in their windshield. And that's how we pick out a Franchise Row fast food location. You're the opposite of that. Nobody gives a crap where you live, where this business lives, except you. Okay? So all we've got to do is have it close enough to you to survive. How far is it from your home now?
About 10 minutes.
Okay. What would happen if you went 20 minutes directly out of town towards the country, the boondocks, from your home?
It would definitely get a little cheaper. When we were working, we would have to go a little bit farther to go back to the warehouse to get stuff, but it's not that big of a deal to move out.
But for $2,000 a month, I can make that drive a lot.
Exactly.
Oh, and let me help you with this. Your work's going to move towards your new building because the city's growing that way. It's not growing the other way.
That is very true. How would I... So once I find a place, I do want to buy, but I don't
want you to buy. You're broke.
I'm not.
I want you to rent. I want you to rent again.
Okay.
You don't have the money to buy, do you?
I have about 150 to 200.
Yeah. That won't buy a place, will it?
I could probably
put down the down payment, but you'll be in debt.
I could find something for about 250 if I get lucky.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so could you find a place like we're talking about, the Boondock place, 15 minutes from your home, straight out of town for $250?
I could, but I don't have. So I have a limit. I have to move within 14 months, and I'm trying to save and save and save, so I don't have to.
You got $150 now, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Here, I'm gonna work you through this. Okay. Here's what I did. I leased a building. Little different numbers, but it's still the same concept. That was 55,000 square feet. The value of the building at the time I leased it was about $3 million. I leased it for 5 years with the option to buy it at any time for $5 million. Okay?
How do you get them to do that deal? Because I've asked people.
Not everybody will do that deal, but it's somebody that wants to sell it. Let's just take it to your deal, okay? You went up and you said, okay, I'll give you $20,000 cash for an option, and I want to rent this place for $2,000 a month for 3 years, and I have the right anytime during that 3 years to buy it for $250,000. And you've already got $20,000 of that, so it's $230,000. We'll apply the option money to the purchase.
Okay, so the incentive is that
during the 3 years, you scrape up the difference, which you can do.
Yeah.
And you close on the building.
Okay, that makes sense.
That's how I did the other deal. By the way, the end of the story is, by the time I closed on it at $5 million, it was worth $14 million. The building went up faster than the option price, because I locked in the option price 5 years earlier. If you lock this in at $250 today, when you close on it in 3 years, it might be worth $450. But you get to buy it for $250 because that's the deal.
So that $20,000 option, is that kind of like that? So that's an incentive for them to
do the deal.
Okay.
Now, this might be somebody that has it for sale, but says, okay, I'll give this young dude that's cooking with gas on his construction company a chance. I'm going to take the 20 grand. If he just is a tenant, I put 20 grand in my pocket. But at the end of 3 years, I'll put it back up for sale, right?
Yeah.
But that's the landlord. But he also says, or maybe he'll bring me the other 230 and we'll close on it.
Okay. Yeah,
and you tell him, look, I'm almost there. I've got 150. I can, I'm going to be able to get to your 230 before 3 years, but I don't know exactly when that's going to be. So I need a little bit of grace here. I'll rent for 3 years with the right to buy it for 250. If they've got it for sale, not for lease, they might do that deal.
Okay.
It just means they're going to get their money a little bit later than March, right?
Yeah. I've heard you talked about that story all the time, but I never realized that the incentive in the beginning to get them to make it worthwhile for them.
Yeah. In my case, I did not give them any money up front, but I did do all my own tenant improvement. He didn't have to put any money into the building, and I took half the building as a tenant, and I paid $300,000 to renovate the building, which was the same thing as your option money in a sense, right?
Yeah.
But he didn't actually have any. He just had an improved building because he was cheapskate and he didn't want to put any money into it.
Okay.
And he'd run the building down to nothing. So just be watching. Now, all of that said, let me back up 2 more steps before we go execute this plan, okay?
Mm-hmm.
You make all your money in the construction business. It doesn't matter if you're a tenant the rest of your life. Your profit is not in the ownership of this building. Your profit is in the running of the business. If you buy a building and the building starts to tell your business what to do instead of your business telling your building what to do, you've trapped your business that is the profit center into a bad deal because the landlord's stupid. You. Okay? Our business, we outgrew that 55,000 square foot building. We moved into another building out back and another building out back and another building out back. We had 6 different locations in a 2-mile radius. It was driving us nuts, all because I was trying to stay in my building, and the real estate was telling the business what to do instead of the business building out what it needed, building the real estate that it needed. And that's when we made the decision to build this thing, this campus that we've got that we can expand into for the next 10 years. And so be careful that your real estate is not telling your business what to do. Real estate's a side gig, side hustle. It's not the main play. That's what we're looking for. You got a good thing going with the construction company. Concentrate on that. If you just move and become a tenant, that is not a bad thing at all. Just pay some rent, go make some money, because you're not in the real estate business. You're in the construction business. Different thing. Don't get confused about that. That's where people, they get all hot and bothered about owning their building, and you don't necessarily have to become very, very successful. So please don't get caught up in that.